Hi, it's miniGIRL. That was way over the top. I created hobbyhottips.com to pin or not to pin. That is the question. I get asked this quite a bit because I ask for your guys' requests. Some of them get pretty weird. I often get asked whether I pin my miniatures, how I do it. So I'm going to answer all those questions for you. All of them. I pin if it's a large model, clunky, whether it's metal or resin or plastic. I'll pin it just because it's large and usually because it has a really big base that I want to do something cool to it. I pin if it's a special character or an HQ because I want to do something cool to the base. And I pin if it's a metal model like pewter. Like this guy. He's metal and heavy, so I want to pin him. By the way, did you notice my background's different? Yeah, I kind of changed it up. Didn't want to bore you guys too much. In these containers, I keep boxes of all my stuff. At least a lot of it. The other half's in the garage. And for those of you wondering, this is my microphone. So, let's start the tutorial. Here we go. So this model here needs an arm pin, but I'm going to do that last because I do recommend pinning feet first because you're going to be manhandling it quite a bit and the feet is the hardest part as far as I'm concerned. So now I'm just trimming off that little slot and I'm going to start a hole with my hobby knife of where I want the drill bit to go into. I caved and bought Citadel brand manual drill because it is really nice, so don't judge. And that little hole where I started with my hobby knife is where I want the drill bit to go into. The drill bits that came with this particular manual drill are all the same size, so you don't have to worry about sizing. For a smaller miniature, I recommend going in roughly about 1/8 inch or 3 millimeters for my international friends. Now you can get regular pins that you can order online. I have all the links to all the products I use in the description below. It's nice because it does have a coating so it slips easily into the hole. Or to save money, you can use paper clips. That's my favorite. And you know, paper clips are awesome. They just, I don't know, make me smile. So get out your nippers, trim off a couple little pieces. This is to compare what a regular pin and then a paper clip is. They're virtually identical. It's just the paper clip is a little bit more stiff and doesn't have a coating. Put some super glue onto the pin and put it right into the hole. Wait for it to dry. Make sure your pins are even. And if they're not straight, try and straighten them out carefully. Put it right onto your cork and now it's ready to prime and paint. Do you really think I paint like that? Come on, I may be a girl, but I'm not crazy. Oh wait. Moving on. After your miniature is painted, you can now work on the base. For this particular base, I'm going to use one of my base toppers that I create, design, and I sell on my website. And I want it to be brick. I want her to be standing on bricks. So I'm cutting out shape. It's not resin or plastic, so it's nice because these can be cut and they come in different colors. Base toppers, base toppers. Sorry, I had to plug that. Now the extra pieces I'm going to use for another base. That's what's kind of cool about these. And I'm going to combine two colors to give it really like a ruined look. So you can just use regular white PVA glue, literally dip it in sand. I'm using the Army Painter inks. I love the Army Painter inks. I'm using dark tone and strong tone in this particular instance, and it just makes the bricks completely pop. It's amazing. Doing a little bit of dry brushing just on the edges, and I'm going to add a little bit of flock. Depending on the position of your model, it's important to mark where you're going to place the model onto the base. So I've dipped the pins in a little bit of black paint, as you can see there, so I know exactly where to drill using that same manual drill. You can go all the way through the base, through the slot, or through the base directly itself. Add a little bit of super glue, make sure your pins are dry. If you're using super glue, it's going to dry pretty quick. You can also use cement glue as well. Put your pins right through. Just pretend that she's painted. I didn't paint her just so I can get through this tutorial pretty quick. You can bend down the pins if it's a heavy model. In this instance, it's a small model, so I'm just going to clip them. I recommend bending them down with your fingers though. If you do that, using pliers might pull the pins out, so just be very careful. Now this particular base, I put some hot glue on the bottom because I wanted it to stay because it was very heavy, and this one, as you can see, I made the pins very long and then bent them because the model is very heavy and large. Usually, if you want to do something cool to your base, you're going to have to pin them. With your troops, you can get away with just gluing them to your base, painting them, and then you can work around the miniature of your basing while you're basing. Did that make sense? This is just my opinion. If there's pros out there watching or have been in the hobby a long time, please leave your comments in the section below. Thank you. So you want your HQs, your special characters, maybe your larger models to stand out a little bit more than just your regular troops. Because there's people out there that have orcs and Tyranids, and they have like 50 of them that they need to do. It's difficult to do special basing for that many models, which is like cray cray. For the most part, I like to do the basing at the end if at all possible and work around the model, except for the special characters. Now I know in a lot of my basing videos, I do show that I'm doing the basing first and then pinning them in. My basing videos are supposed to be geared for those people that want to have a cool base for just a few of their guys or a little bit of terrain, or for those ones that you're going to pin. So you can get bits and pieces of things that I do in my videos or little tips and tricks and apply them in a much more simpler fashion if you want to your bases that you're going to be doing a ton of, like troops for instance. And while I pin him, I have him on a cork so that I can paint him easily and have a 360 rotation. So that's that. And I'm going to give him a really awesome base. Even though he's not an HQ, I just really like the guy. So if you really like your guy, give him a cool base. Show him some love. I know pinning is not everybody's favorite. It certainly wasn't my favorite in the beginning. Hey, if miniGIRL can do it, man up. You can too. I promise. You'll love it. Okay, love is a strong word. I want to get your opinion and ask you if you'd like to see me do painting tutorials. Let me know your thoughts, yay or nay. Be sure to go to my website, hobbyhottips.com, because I updated it. I think that's it. Is that it? I forgot what I was going to say. Thanks for watching. Leave me a thumbs up. Even if you didn't like the video, leave me a thumbs up. It'll really confuse me. Subscribe. Watch my other videos so you can get a whole sense of miniGIRL. Should I keep it or should I go back to the painting background, which is over there? I can't hear you. Type it in all caps so I can really hear you. Hey, there's a hummingbird. Look. Oh, I forgot what it was. Then it's a really... I just stuttered. Suck in. Okay guys, that's my time. Bye for now. I'll see you on the next tutorial. Something about saying goodbye. That's it. I'm done.